We gon' hit them hot topics. We talking about them hot topics. We gon' hit them hot topics. We talking about them hot topics. We gon' hit them hot topics. We talking about them hot topics. We gon' hit them hot topics. So put it on the, put it on the, put it on the, put it on the floor. Got a few situations that we wanna talk about. Got a few disagreements, we gon' need to talk it out. Right here in the hot seat, no need for another route. We gon' keep it 100 without the bottle count. LB gon' pull it out you, a dentist with a drill. Don't be all up in your feelings, auntie gon' keep it real. Uncut with no chasing, no guard and no shield. Conversation productive, ain't worried about how you feel. Discussions keep on rising, shooting just like a rocket. They gon' need some addressing. Climaxing, can I stop it? Old news telling lies and getting out the pocket. This is Urban Rose Media, giving you hot topics. We gon' hit them hot topics. We talking about them hot topics. We gon' hit them hot topics. So put it on the, put it on the, put it on the, put it on the floor. We gon' hit them hot topics. We talking about them hot topics. We gon' hit them hot topics. So put it on the, put it on the, put it on the, put it on the floor. We gon' hit them hot topics. We talking about them hot topics. We gon' hit them hot topics. Just put it on the, put it on the, put it on the, put it on the floor.
Guilty, 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 guilty. No matter how you want to toss it up, the guilty first, the guilty second, or the guilty third, this chick is guilty. Yes, she is. Guys, welcome to Hot Topics tonight, Thursday, December 23rd, I think it is. I hope it is. It better be it is. Yes, it is. I got my brother Flo Nice back with me, and we're going to chop this verdict up just to, man, this was a hilarious. When I say hilarious, it wasn't even funny hilarious. This was a hilarious thing that this lady did. Tony, come on, baby. Talk to me.
Boy, this is boy. I ain't never seen no. I ain't never seen no shit like this in my life, man.
Mm-hmm.
The excuses the damn attorneys are giving. Well, it's Christmas. She shouldn't get sentenced right now. Boy, I had to sit up in my damn bed, man.
Yeah, you heard it. I was driving. I was on my way to picking up some things, and I like, whoa, let me pull on the side of the road. I know I didn't hear what I just heard. Whoa.
What the hell?
The attorney for Kim Porter gave 10 reasons why he did not want his client to go to jail after being told guilty on count 1, manslaughter in the first degree while committing a misdemeanor, and guilty count 2, manslaughter in the second degree. When you're guilty in the court of law doing something wrong, such as killing someone, how the hell do you get to go home? Where they do that at?
Boy, it's the Christmas season. She won't get to see her family. Shit, Dante won't see his family for forever.
Flo, for those who I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do something, man. I'm gonna bag up and give people a little bit of time to come in. For those who don't know, Flo Nice, he released another single, Only New. It's a nice piece. Flo, tell me something about that right there, man.
Well, yeah, that's a little project that I was doing with my man out of Raleigh, Low Key Country. It's basically a song about going through a lot of stuff and people don't understand what you're going through. You know what I'm saying? You might see somebody smiling and you know, all alone, they got a lot of pain going on in their life. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to write, basically, my cousin had wrote the song and I just went ahead and finished it up for him. I got to give a shout out to Jermaine Allen. You know what I'm saying? Here in Shelby, he wrote the song. I just found somebody to sing the hook for it, and I wrote the verses to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to give credit where credit is due. You know what I mean?
Ladies and gentlemen, go to SoundCloud. It's there. Shell Town Fire Records. Hey, he has a lot of music there, guys. Something for the holidays. Go pick it up. Support the hometown crowd. Support the brother. Support black businesses. And don't ask for a discount because we're not giving it. Flo,
Ooh,
guilty, guilty, guilty. She's she has a guilty verdict. Now I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play what the what the judge said to the young lady.
hmm
To read your verdicts as it will appear in the permanent court records of Hennepin County. In the matter of State of Minnesota versus Kimberly Potter, court file number 27 CR 21 7490, we, the jury, on the charge of manslaughter in the first degree while committing a misdemeanor on or about April 11, 2021, in Hennepin County, State of Minnesota, find the defendant guilty. And the verdict was agreed to at the hour of 11:40 a.m. and signed by the jury person on 12/23/21. The verdict on count 2 is we, the jury, on the charge of manslaughter in the second degree, culpable negligence on or about April 11, 2021, in Hennepin County, State of Minnesota, find the defendant guilty. And that verdict was agreed to at 10:30 a.m. on 12/21/21. Members of the jury, is this your true and correct verdict? So say you one, and so say you all.
Yes.
Okay, you may be seated.
Now, Flo, is it me, or did it sound like Judge Chu was really reading a bedtime story to everyone?
she
She
was
had me
soft
at
as shit. She was
woo.
soft as shit, like real easy going or whatever the case is. But hey, we got that verdict. You know, I applaud. You know, their decision on giving her the gift. You know, doing what they supposed to do. Um, yeah, man.
Earlier in the day, we had talked about this right here that there was nine of the first 12 jurors seated were white jurors, and and one juror identified it as black, whatever that meant, and then of course you got the two Asians. I was skeptic. I'm gonna be honest with you, and the
hmm
reason why I was skeptic is because of like the Kyle Rittenhouse situation that happened a couple weeks back. And now this dude, he has his own podcast talking junk about everybody. I mean, I just saw
mm
today where he was ratting off the mouth about LeBron James. So I mean, and that's why I was scared at the fact that hey, is this gonna be another situation where another person who killed someone who had did no wrong to them, will they get off and will they get scot free to go and do the same thing, boast and brag about what they did?
Yeah, and see, that's with our community. I mean, that's always the worry is, you know, they're gonna get off.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's why we always talking about how lopsided this system is towards us. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no um matter of, yeah, we as long as we present the facts and the evidence, everything should go in our favor. It's the fact of the matter is, you know, they're gonna let this person get away with it. You know what I'm saying? It's always the case,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
And no offense to Miss Chu and how she presents herself there in the courtroom. I mean, she does have a soft tenure, but I like as we play a little bit of video footage at the end. I really like the way she handled herself. But Flo, you had started out by talking about these attorneys, bruh. Now we're gonna play the video part with these attorneys. They try to be slick. Ooh, they try to be slick. And
Now,
people, this is the reason why I say you need to vote. You need to stand up. You need to take charge. No matter how, if you old enough to vote, you old enough to voice your opinion and make a change in the community, you need to watch these clowns right here. And I mean clowns.
Change your mind. Um,
as to whether she needs to be incarcerated right now. I know Mr. Gray has a couple comments too.
Your Honor, her bail right now is $100,000. She's got that posted. She's not going to run. She obviously is not going to commit any more crimes.
Hold up. That video didn't start at the beginning. Let's go back. Let's go back. All right, check this out, y'all.
Before you make a decision to take her in.
All right, I'll hear you out.
Go ahead now.
You know, I think it'd be easier for the court.
Now, these two clowns, they don't know which one. Oh, you want to go first? No, I go first. They're not even prepared. They weren't prepared for this.
Oh,
Just clowns. But they still trying their best to get this young lady off.
Court reporter, if you went to the podium.
We both say a little bit, Judge.
Yes.
Well, there hasn't been a motion. I anticipate they would file a motion, but this arguendo, they're going to file a motion to revoke her bail. We will be filing a motion for a dispositional departure on the case. She is amenable to probation. Her remorse and regret for the incident is overwhelming. She's not a danger to the public whatsoever. She has made all her court appearances, including all appearances in the court. It is the Christmas holiday season. She's a devoted Catholic, no less. And there is no point to incarcerate her at this point in time because A, you haven't decided what the sentence is going to be. B, the dispositional departure arguments are quite strong on this case. And C, it's not necessary for the preservation of public safety. So for those reasons, she need not be incarcerated whatsoever pending sentencing. You certainly can do it after sentencing, but this is a rather unique case of someone who has law enforcement experience and was never in trouble in all her life and is 49, which is beyond the age of most defendants that you see. Plus, she has deep roots in the community.
what the hell her age got to do with?
There's no evidence.
Say I'm getting sentenced.
You heard it.
So we respectfully ask you to change your mind as to whether she needs to be incarcerated right now.
All right, now I'm going to stop that right there. Now, Flo, he said, first of all, her
bail is 100.
overwhelming.
So what now?
He said her remorse and regret is overwhelming.
Boy,
Then he said she's not a danger to the public whatsoever. What the fuck? She just got convicted, guilty of killing someone.
she just
What do you call danger?
she wasn't in no damn traffic this ain't no traffic ticket. Shit.
She just got convicted of murder. He said she's not a danger to the public. So you
I
mean
don't
to
know
tell me, check that out. Check that out, Flo. What he just sat there and said is Dante Wright is not a part of the public. He's an animal.
Go
He's not
back to
part
what
of
I
the public.
what I was saying before, man. How they still view us as non-human, and we're animals. That goes right back to that, man.
Mhm. Mhm.
You know.
We got Marquise Garrett. He done chimed in from the ATL. How you doing, my brother? How you doing?
Doing all right. How you doing, man? Just getting it together here. Just tuning in kind of late. Apologize about that.
Oh man, no need to apologize, brother. You might need to turn your volume down just a little bit.
Cut it down a little bit.
Yeah.
You looking right there? You good?
All right. But I'm trying to figure out, man, who is he defining as the public?
I guess his peers, man. I guess her peers. You know.
That bothers me, man. That bothers me solely. You know, his peers is totally different from who we are.
Right.
And that got a lot to do with, how a lot of these guys think. Police officers, judges, attorneys. We're not a part of the public. We're animals.
Nah. Not a part of their public.
Mm-hmm. We are. But now, I'm going down the line. He said She's made all of her court appearances.
Now, hey, this shit right here had me tripping. This shit really had me tripping like goddamn making a court appearance as extra credit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to lessen some of your sentence. Well, she did make 5 out of 5 of her court appearances. That should count for something. Like, nah.
Let me ask you, Marquise, have you ever went to a courtroom and the attorney said, well, hey, these people made all their court appearances. Judge, can you let them off? Have you ever went through that, Marquise?
Man, not a day in my life. That don't work for my kind, for my color.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't work. It never worked. You know, I never heard that a day in my life. Usually I hear, hey, if the defendant's guilty, he's gonna be remanded. There's nothing about, oh, you came to every one of your court appearances, so we're gonna let you go home and we're gonna sentence you later. It doesn't work that way for a certain type of group of people.
Right.
How about this one? He also said it's the Christmas holidays.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. If the Christmas holidays meant something, I would have been free a long time ago.
Damn right.
Okay, well, check this out, guys. Maybe all black people need to stop being Baptist, Pentecostal, and Methodist, and sometimes Jehovah's Witness, and maybe they need to be
being
Catholic. Because that's what he said. He said she's a dedicated Catholic. That's what he said. I ain't making this up. I can play it back. He said she's a dedicated Catholic. And then he said there's no point in incarcerating her because you haven't decided what the sentence is going to be. She did. It's guilty. She didn't decide it, but the jury decided. She guilty. So guilty means you got to wait, dude.
Not only just that, LB. They said she ain't going nowhere. Her bond is 100,000. She's not gonna run.
Oh, but in the next little portion, when the next attorney come up, watch what I ain't gonna spill the beans, but watch what he say about that 100,000. Mm-hmm. Then he went down and said it's not necessary for the public safety. Really? She just killed somebody, MG. She just killed somebody. And talking about putting her in jail ain't necessary for the public safety. Come on, Flo.
It is a public safety for us, man. Come on, she's a murderer. She's a murderer. I mean, she gets to walk free amongst people. She even got me feared for my life right now. She's released. You know what I'm saying? Be real. I mean, if the shoe was on the other foot, come on, I'm feared for my life. She might go on a spree. I don't know. I'm not understanding that. You know, she's a threat to the community.
Flo, this dude said this case is rather unique. He says it's a rather unique case and she's never been in trouble as an officer her whole entire life. Well, I guess not if her brothers and sisters on the force is going to protect her.
Right. Right. And she's the one behind the badge.
Right.
And what tripped me out is if one of our people had committed a murder, right? The first thing the attorneys and all this gonna say is we need to get him off the streets. He's a danger. Mm-hmm. We need to get him off the streets. Mm-hmm. But yet they're gonna say the opposite here.
Hey, brother LB, you're absolutely right. Like they say, if it was one of my brothers, and I can speak from a situation where one of my brothers he was wanted for murder. Did go to trial for murder, got 20 years out of it. All the circumstances in this case does not pertain to a person of color. That's the sad part about it. Like they're trying to make all these excuses. Well, she's never been in trouble before. I know a guy committed a murder, and he was classified as America's Most Wanted. It wasn't no day he had 100,000. He still couldn't get out because they refused his bond. So for them to use this different stipulation because he's in law enforcement, we know law enforcement is the biggest gang in the world. They're going to take care of their own. You know, she should not get a second chance. She should stay in jail for the holidays and continue on with sentencing. It should not be. That should be it. She did the crime. She did the time.
You're exactly right, bro. You're exactly right. Because if it was us, they wouldn't consider. Oh, it's the holidays. They would have never said nothing like that, bro. They would have never said that.
It is not pertaining on how much type of, even if you was to look at some celebrities nowadays and they got a high profile case, it shows a whole different avenue for us as black people, not just leaning towards our race, but us as black people. It shows no matter how much money we got or what type of people we have behind us. If the shoe was on the other foot, none of those questions would be in the play right now. None of that would matter. Her age wouldn't matter. You know, only thing that matters right now, because she's Caucasian, excuse my language, I'm gonna say it, she's a Caucasian. She's a white woman.
You ain't got to excuse your language. She is what she is.
She's a white woman, and they want to feel like she's not a victim here. She's not the victim. The little boy who died, he cannot talk. She's not a victim. You know, if she feel remorse for what she did, at the end of the day, it's time to pack it up and go. It's time to go. Take ownership.
And see, what the attorney's trying to do is like you said, you're trying to make her the victim. And this is like the ninth thing he said. He said, she's 49 years beyond the age of most. Check this out. And I know it pissed the attorney, I meant the judge off. It had to piss her off. But she smiled through it. She didn't smile, but she looked like glass through it. He said, she's 49 years old, beyond the age of most defendants, which you see. How would you feel if someone told you some shit like that?
Man, I'll be ready to cuss and tear up that courtroom. If I was in that courtroom, I would have went off. I would have went off, man. So let's be real. She's 49. Say that again. She's 49 years of age.
He said she's 49 years old, beyond the age of most defendants, which you see on a daily basis.
What the hell that got to do with
anything? Look, that shit slick sound just real racist. Just said in another matter. She's 49 years old and she's white. And most defendants you see every day are black drug dealers, murderers. These are people that you see on a daily basis. You don't see my kind in your courtroom that often.
Man, you said a mouthful right there. You hit it on the nose, bro. Hit it on the nose.
Somebody got to tell the truth, because that smoke screen and mirrors. That was another racist statement that people would not look at about him making that statement. I wonder what's her courtroom probably is full with young black people. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna have a few white, but the jail population is majority black. Minority is black. Bella.
Well, you just stepped on the last point that he made to the judge. Let me make sure that's the last point. Yeah, the last point he made to the judge was, he said, she has deep roots in the community and her family is here. Come on, Flo.
Her family there?
Yeah.
Her family is there.
He said she got deep roots in the community, Judge. And think about it, Judge. Her family is here.
Well, okay, where is that sentiment? Where is that same energy for when our brothers and sisters go into the court system and they're found guilty of a lesser crime and get a higher, penalty or whatever the case is, and their mother, their father is there. We remember that court case that just happened where the father yelled out because of the verdict, right? I think it was Arbery. They made him leave, right? They made him leave out the court.
Yeah.
But he was happy because of what the verdict was. I mean, come on, let's look at that too, man. The father was at the court case or whatever. You don't think, shit, that shit ain't fucking matter.
Yeah. It
didn't matter.
It didn't matter because of the skin color. I hate to say it, every day we have to look at that. It didn't matter. He didn't care because, like again, we go back to the same thing. I hate to say it, if it was a white person at that time yelling out, getting all excited due to the verdict, they would have been applauded. Let them continue to carry on. By being a black guy that's rejoicing for his son that the verdict came out right. They couldn't let the news and media get a hold to them. They won't.
Now check this out. He also said that she lives in the community. She's not going to run. But see, something happens later on. I'm going to play a little bit more. Something else is going to happen. But he said in the earlier part, he said that she lives in the community. She's not going to run. She's not going to go nowhere. But I'm going to go ahead and spill the beans, but we're going to hear it anyway. Come find out, she don't even live in the state no damn more.
Mm.
And guess who told that? The prosecutor said, we just found out she no longer lives in the state, Judge. So please keep her incarcerated.
Mm.
You know what they're looking at, why they made that statement, which they already knew she was no longer to live in that state no more, because it will be a, how would I say it, basically people will be looking for her. And for that case, like I told you again, they're gonna hide her and put her in witness protection. If they grant it to her, they gotta take care of their own. They're gonna make it seem like it's just like okay, they explain it to the judge, well, she can go in house arrest, she's not gonna run nowhere. Of course, y'all got to make sure y'all protect her by all means necessary. Same way every cop killer is protected, but even in jail, they're still protected. They housed in a different whole unit.
Right.
So, but make a long story short, basically, that's just another trick that they use just to play on our intelligence.
Right.
Make that
Right.
statement, and the judge is aware of it. The court system was already aware of it. Her address, knowing that she was no longer in that state.
I'm gonna finish playing the clip of the attorneys getting up speaking. Remember what the first attorney said. He said she's not a danger to the public whatsoever. Now watch what the second attorney says. Y'all check it out.
I know Mr. Gray has a couple comments too.
Your Honor, her bail right now is $100,000. She's got that posted. She's not going to run. She obviously is not going to commit any more crimes.
What did he say?
She got that bail money posted.
And she's not going to commit any more crimes.
Any more crimes.
How can you not? Wait a minute. The first attorney said she's not a danger to the public. This attorney for her, who sits on the right side of her, said she's not going to commit any more crimes. Is crime not danger? What about that, MG?
I'm listening. Run that back by me. I was listening to you. Run it back by me one more time.
Okay, the first attorney said she's not a danger to the public whatsoever. He said whatsoever. This attorney right here just got up here and said
That posted. She's not going to run. She obviously is not going to commit any more crimes.
he said she's not going to commit any more crimes. So how is it one attorney says she's not a danger to the public? This attorney says, okay, she was a danger, she committed a crime, but she's not going to commit no more. Is danger a crime or not?
Yes, it is.
Man, it's a crime. It's the same thing, man. It's all crime. She done committed a crime. We're not worried about what there's no need to give her another chance to commit another one. You know, I'm not understanding. Both attorneys are standing up, really speaking against one another. It's not adding up. At the end of the day, you're speaking, saying that she's not going to commit any crime or she's not going to commit any more crimes. But at the end of the day, the crime has already been committed, man.
Exactly.
And the verdict already been given.
Exactly. In my humble opinion, guys, if you look at that judge's face, the way she's looking at that attorney, she's looking at him like, look, y'all some fools. I'm tired of y'all devils. That's the way she's looking at them. I'm tired of y'all devils. Because that's when they first got up, guys, they was confused and giggling and laughing. Who's gonna go first? So you clowns. Now one clown get up there and speak. This clown right here heard what his brother just said, but he speaks against his brother.
Yes, he absolutely surely did. He went totally opposite. I thought they would have been more on board with the same communication. But as you see of how he's speaking, and the other attorney to come back behind him and really make them, they both just looking like some fools up there. You know, basically my opinion.
But you know, they wasn't expecting to be to have to go up there to defend a position, because they was expecting her to get off of it. You could tell that off the gate. They was expecting a different verdict. And then again, they trying to defend this woman to the end like she is the victim.
Yeah.
The victim is dead, but she's the victim.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, they're trying to defend them, saying that that's their job. I understand that's their job. But they didn't expect this. When I was watching the verdict being handed down, and I was looking at my whole thing was their facial expressions. You know, it was a face full of blankness. And when I did my recaps and looked at everything, I kind of just looked at it and I could tell myself that she wasn't going to get off. I really don't think that they did that. The legal team that she had, it looked like she really got a whole clan of white prejudice people behind her. You know, I'm gonna be honest. Looking at her legal team, the way they're coming, because they wasn't showing no remorse. You know, no concern for the victim whatsoever. Then at the end, for them to constantly repeat, to say that she's not going to commit any more crimes, they're speaking on like she just stole a piece of candy or something. She just murdered a guy in cold blood. That's a difference. You speaking like, oh, she just did a hit and run, a big vehicular homicide. Come on, man.
Check out what the next attorney says after this clown sit down.
She's been convicted of an accident. She's been convicted of being reckless. I just would like to be able to, with Paul, file a motion for dispositional departure in this case. I think there's other facts that didn't come to light during the trial that are important also about Kim Potter and about this case. So I respectfully request that you release her on her $100,000 bail, and that'll make it easier to do the pre-sentence report. We'll get people sending letters on her behalf. And I would ask for a sentencing sometime after, if you release her, sometime, I start a trial January 20th. It should be over by February 20th, I hope, sometime in late February.
So what he's saying is, let her have 2 months of freedom. If it'll be over by February the 20th, and I'll get all these letters from everyone saying that, you know, she's a pillar of the community and she shouldn't have to go to prison. She just made an honest mistake. Judge, please be lenient to her. And the judge look on her face is like, boy, bye.
It seems like what he's trying to do is buy time, actually. You know they're going to come back and appeal the case. So with them smart kind of lawyers that she had, by the way he's talking, is trying to get all this paperwork together to really just buy time. I don't even think it's about the fucking freedom. I think they put, excuse my language, they put more paperwork together going to apply for her appeal to try to avoid her. Because what they're going to do is try to keep prolonging. I was just incarcerated with a guy. He prolonged his case up to 4 to 6 months. It's up to how good of a job your lawyer do. So if he can get this prolonged, they get him time to file more motions into the court. And the only thing you need is really with a good lawyer, good legal team, 2 months. It can give her a little more time out on the streets. That 2 months can extend to 4 months. That 2 months can extend to 6 months by the time she have to answer the appeal that they're going to put in.
Check out what the prosecutor says to the judge next.
And ask that my gosh, she's got a $100,000 bail out, Judge. But, you know, she's not going to commit another crime. She's not going anywhere. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Frank.
Damn pillow talk voice of her.
To request that the defendant be taken into custody. The convictions here are for manslaughter in the first degree, manslaughter in the second degree, based on the death of Dante Wright, a young man. In other words, it's a case that involves a death. They are very serious charges. It is customary for defendants to be taken into custody upon a guilty verdicts for those level of crimes. And we don't think this case should be any differently. Your Honor, we also have learned that the defendant is not living in the state. I don't know if that was...
Hello.
I'd like to talk about the bail issue.
He said that the defendant was not living in the state. That's what he said.
In the state. So she's not going to run, but yet she don't left.
Yeah.
Man, get the hell out of here.
Exactly.
And then another thing, oh, this is not a murder case. This is an accidental case. I mean, get the fuck out of here, man.
What got me is, guys, if he was kind of slick, and I just heard that just now, just pinged up on that. He didn't say in the killing of Dante Wright. He said in the death of Dante Wright, as if Dante just died on his own.
Right.
He didn't
it was
say
an accidental death. We don't know who did it. It wasn't my client, but we don't know who did it. but
Yeah.
my client is taking the rap for it, which is an honorable thing, by the way.
He didn't say murder. He didn't say killing. He said in the death of Dante Wright. That's slick. And that's the prosecutor now. That's slick. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well,
You know, it's a dirty game out here, man. Dirty game.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how they see it, they slick still stand to.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how they prosecuting this case. Yeah, I learned I had, I'm gonna go to myself real quick. I caught a charge in a little small country town. You know, the DA, prosecutor, judge, they all love to go eat lunch together. They had nerve to tell me, please don't go hire one of them fancy old city lawyers down here. We're not too fond of those. Basically, when they handle things in that community, it's under wrap. Everybody kind of keeps each other in the loop. And being where that area is at, where the murder was at, that kind of by the way the DA spoke on it, he's in the loop. I hate to say it, but he's somewhere in the loop because I displayed not the killing, but the death. He just didn't fall inside the street and die. He just didn't pull up and just die. You know, she murdered this guy. You know, he should have had more driven passion when he spoke on it on reasons why. He should be like, she killed this man. You know, this man just didn't all of a sudden it wasn't an accident. No, she doesn't deserve. She should be going to be sentenced and carry out her sentence. I feel like the DA could have been more dramatic with it, more compassion with it, because like I say, I'm waiting. I'm really me myself. I'm 10 steps ahead of it. I'm waiting to see if they grant anything, how fast the paperwork get in to have her right back in court.
Well, in this particular case, where is it at? She's facing 20 to 40 years, and that's what the first attorney actually alluded to. He says you haven't even placed sentencing yet, and they have something going on to where they have an argument as to how the trial went. So that might lean towards her getting a little bit more lenient of time, which I hope not. But guys, check this out right here. I put on Twitter. Let me check and see where it's at. I put on Twitter, and this shows you how Americans think. I put on Twitter, Kim Porter's fate. Do you agree she go to prison or disagree she goes to prison? And guys, right now it's at 56.3 says she should go to prison. 43.8% says she should not go to prison. And for those who don't believe what I say, boom, there you go. That was put up several hours ago. 3 hours ago, that was put up. And so far, America is split and split. It's almost 50-50.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you about the mental take of America, man?
Well, that basically shows where they really stand when it comes down to us as a people and how they feel about this system. They feel like this system is just, you know, across the board. But like I said before, it's two systems: the system for the whites and the system for the blacks. And we know how that coin flip when it comes down to us. Point blank. And majority of those that voted, bro, that said she shouldn't go, we already know what skin tone it is. Let's be frank. And if it was some folks that was of our same skin tone, it's because they want to act like, you know, white folks. Let's just be frank with it. That's point blank, bro. We know what it is.
There it is right there.
And that's crazy. That's crazy. But you see, the odds are close. This is what we deal with on the everyday basis of life, though. Of those percentages matters a lot. It matters a lot. Our voice has to get stronger. You know, and that is that close.
Check out what the judge said to these clowns who tried to get Miss Porter free for the holidays.
In this case are the presumptive sentences in this case are commits, and I am going to require that she be taken into custody and held without bail. And I recognize your arguments, Mr. Ng and Mr. gray, but I cannot treat this case any differently than any other case. So,
I highly appreciate what she said. I cannot treat this case any different than any other case. And that goes back to what he was saying earlier when he was telling her she's 49 years old. What he said she's beyond the age of most defendants, which you see. She showed him.
Most definitely. But you know, one thing about it is she basically spoke for everybody. She shouldn't get treated differently. You know, like I like how she handled the situation, because when she spoke, she says basically, so I'm not gonna grant y'all this because you want me to come in because she's white, she's old, that I should look at her differently than I'm looking at anybody else that come in my courtroom every day. You know, so on that stands what you said earlier about the whole way how she was just staring at the people, looking like she was just ready to get it over with. To make make a long story short, basically, it was broken down just to look at her eyes, to understand that she's no different than us, basically. Her skin color doesn't matter. Her age doesn't matter because she committed a crime.
She committed a crime. Point blank period. She committed it. She didn't have no compassion. And one thing I wanted to say, you remember earlier when I tuned in and she was doing all that hyperventilating shit on the stand? That much she didn't hit a damn time on that when she said she getting incarcerated, did she? She's silent now. She's like, that shit didn't work. Shit didn't work. Hey, my point exactly.
The shit didn't work. The shit didn't work. You was doing all that earlier, but when you heard them, you're gonna be remanded. But see why she's not upset? When they house her, she'll be housed totally from other people. Treated totally different.
Right.
And you gotta look at that type of jail. That jail will bring her different food from the menu. They won't eat like we eat. Shit, phone calls all day. Fuck around, bring her cell phone in there. Her visits are not behind the glass.
And visits. My bad for cutting you off, bro. And that's the point I'm making with, you know, even when they do get sentenced, they still gonna be treated differently. It's a different fucking system for us versus them. That's a different. Let's take for instance, if that would have been a brother, that would have put him amongst population. And we don't know what the fuck would have happened to him. You feel what I'm saying?
That was gonna put him in there just so something could happen to him. Especially if it was, like I say now, if it was a brother killing a white kid. Oh man, he wouldn't have made it. He wouldn't have made it 24 hours. It would have been mysteriously death. He died mysteriously in his sleep.
Right.
You know, that's how it goes though. That shows you the type of world that we live in, man. It's crazy.
I think, you know what, guys? When you said that, MG, I didn't snicker because it's funny. I snicker because it's reality. It's real. And I go back to what you said earlier. She was doing all that hyperventilating earlier, but that first attorney said her remorse and regret is overwhelming. Well, why she ain't crying? Because she going to prison.
Thank you. I'd have been breaking down like a motherfucker, crying, nose running. I mean, I really would have been on my knees. And it seems like she was really like, her face was no remorse. Like, okay, all right, it didn't work. It didn't work. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next plan.
But on that, even with that, why she ain't I know the family of Dante Wright is there. Why she ain't constantly saying, I'm sorry, constantly telling them that I'm sorry for killing your child. I'm sorry.
That overwhelming remorse and regret that the attorney said that she had. You're right, Flo.
It ain't there. She just trying to get the fuck off.
That's it. She didn't care about shit else. And you know what? You put out a good point on that. Because any other time you see them breaking down, you know, trying to address themselves to the courts or speak to the family, she never said that damn time. It's like it's no remorse. The only thing she's worried about is, I want to go home. That's it. That child can't go back home. He will never be seen again on this earth. You know.
You're right about that.
You hit that on the head when you made that statement there. She sure didn't.
And see, and that's the key point, like what you said. that child, that 20-year-old young man is gone forever. And he talked about, he said, it's the Christmas holidays.
Yeah, that's some fuck shit right there.
That shit's
'Cause-
sad.
She's a dedicated Catholic. I'm telling all black people, stop going to these Baptist, Methodist, Pentecostal churches. Start going to Catholic churches. Because if you're a Catholic, chances are you can probably get over on some things. Because he stated it. He said, hey, Judge, she's a dedicated Catholic.
Well, LB, man, what the hell do her belief have to do with court at this time? If that's the case, then doesn't it say in the Ten Commandments, thou shalt not murder, right? And then it also say within that in the book that you shall not be partial to judgment. Partial to judgment. So we should be because they do bring the Bible into the courtroom, so you should be upholding what it says in the Bible then, and don't have no partial judgment.
That's the
You know what I'm saying?
That's the 6th commandment. Thou shalt not kill.
Right.
Most people who go to those Catholics, Methodists, and go on down the line, they don't know which commandment that is. They can tell you everything else about God and what's right and what's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But she's a dedicated Catholic.
Yeah, she can be dedicated how she wants to. Religion can't help you out in this one. You know,
Nah,
even though they use that a lot. I mean, Catholic has a lot of pull in every community right now. You're absolutely right on that. Catholic is a very high power in the communities. I can say that. They are number one on the radar, so you got to look. If you look at the Catholic is one of the most major successful churches there is. Number one, actually. Their churches cost over $1 billion. If y'all don't recall that church that was falling apart, or I think, what was it at? It was in New York or somewhere. Something happened to a church. They needed like $2 billion to repair. And they jumped so fast to repair that church. And the Catholics are so strong, trying to get on their religion. Even if you hear about the priests molesting all these children, they sweep that under the rug.
Under the rug.
How much power they got? You know, they clean up a lot of mess. You know, it's like their hands into a lot of dirtiness at the same time. But for them to use that in the courtroom, I never heard that one before. If I could say, Lord, I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. Please don't let me go to jail. I didn't mean to kill him. It was an accident. The gun went off.
You better say you Catholic. and you better say you dedicated. You go every Sunday.
Dedicated.
I'm telling you. But man, I don't know what this world is coming to, my brother. Brother LB, like I say, man, it's tough. And we've been dealing with this, and people know this. This has been going on more frequently lately within the last 5 years.
But the thing of it is,
it never changed.
the thing of it is, bro, this shit been happening before the cameras been put on people, man. It just now, you know, it's getting caught. But think about the times when, you know, let's look at my parents. You know what I'm saying? They grew up in the 60s. You know what I'm saying? And all the stuff that was going on then. You feel me? It ain't changed. It's just, you know, it's being highlighted now. You feel me? They still feel the same way. They still feel the same way they did during Jim Crow, before Jim Crow, Reconstruction, slavery. They still had that same mentality. We see it playing out right now. You feel me?
And also look at what you stepping on that token, Flo. You look at all these Karen situations going on. Karen didn't just start, 2 years ago? Nah. Karen been going on, as you said, really since the beginning of America.
Yeah. Think about it, Emmett Till. That was a Karen right there. Think about Tulsa, Oklahoma. When, you know, that was a Karen in that situation. You see what I mean? There's always been a Karen around. Think about, people don't understand Durham. They don't know about Wilmington, the massacres that happened in Wilmington and Durham. We don't talk about these stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? This is history. You feel
And
me?
the Supreme Court just knocked down the. They were trying to get the guys prosecuted against in reference to the Emmett Till, and they knocked it down. Even after the
Ain't that?
lady, she confessed before she died that she lied. They didn't want to do anything about it. They said, "Nah."
You see what I'm saying? That goes back to the system we live in. It's a black system and it's a white system, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
And one thing about it is those blacks who are high up, who knows the laws, who knows that they can push to force to make something happen. They need to do more. And I think we had talked about it earlier, Flo, when we was talking about certain churches taking money and having to get the buy system, the OK system from other churches just to do things in the community. And I say that to say some of our brothers and sisters need to stop being tokens when they get to that level to where they can make a change, where they can raise a voice to do something. Because I don't know the laws. They do. But they can illustrate the laws to us as to what we can do to help support those laws. But it's up to them to actually, since they're there in front of all these people, to stand up and stop just holding their hand out saying, hey, I got status. And if I say something, my status might go down because now I can't get the money that I used to get.
It's all about the black bar. I heard that from attorneys personally, other people within the industry. It's about that black bar people are afraid of. If they don't do this and that, everything that they have is going to be taken from them. But you're right, people stand up, because when our founding fathers fought for what they fought for, they put everything on the line. It wasn't what I cannot do, it's what we're going to do. But nowadays time, people are afraid. They will come out and speak when it's a time to speak. And they'll say a little bit to move the crowd. They give you enough, they give you an illusion, then they disappear. But a lot of churches and a lot of people that has the power, they're more afraid. They more care about the material. They more care about the things they're going to lose than the actual matter at hand. And I heard this personally. A lawyer told me if I don't handle a certain amount of cases, or if I don't handle this a certain way, I will get blackballed. I heard that through other people in other positions as well. So speaking on that, dealing with these high-profile cases and going like that, you got some people that's going to go all the way, like you said, with the churches that's looking for permission from other churches to hold these events to continue to push. I say, fuck it, do what you got to do. I don't think you should have to answer to nobody else if you're looking to make this mega change. You shouldn't worry about who's going to outcast you or not. You should just continue to step. But that's big nowadays. That's very big on that black ball. That black ball of overstepping, they call it overstepping your grounds.
You just said something in reference to the attorneys, and one thing that I seen when I go back and I think about why did these two attorneys say what they said to the judge, and it goes back to what you just said, MG, is they're being watched. They're being watched by the other attorneys and what they should and should not do.
Most definitely, the eyes are on you. I don't care how much money you pay for a lawyer. They all have somebody they got to answer to, and things got to be handled a certain way, a certain manner. Any type of business, any type of church. That's why they have the elders, the congregation. And if things are not handled certainly, they got to answer to somebody, and it could destroy their career or make their career. So everything is up under a microscope. But like you're speaking out and saying, we need those type of voices of people, of leaders now that just don't care. They got to be uncut raw. They got to be similar to Dr. King, Brother Malcolm, and the founding fathers before him, the ones that went out there and stepped and didn't worry about the backlash. They knew what they was fighting for. Because if we don't stand for change for the next 20 years, it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get a whole lot worse. It's not going to change the cycle. We can go march tomorrow about it. But we've been marching. We're marching that plays a part, but now we got to stop marching. We really got to get the youth in these community meetings, in these environmental, in these community events. That's why a lot of people in project areas nowadays, the housing, they have these community kickbacks. That's what people need to speak on. Those are times during the kickback is what we need to look at, is what's going on for the next generation. So when we no more bloodshed, I know we can't stop it all, but one thing about it, we can make a mark. We got to make a mark on this because it's only gonna get worse.
Guys, as I sit down and sit here and I listen to both of you, I just sit here and I wonder, with this happening in Minneapolis, right, same spot where George Floyd come out of, police officers just don't seem like they've got the message. What is it going to take for these police officers to get the message? You're going to have to change what you've been, or you go to prison.
Well, bro, you got to understand the environment up there in Minnesota, man. It's very racist, very much so. Like they've been getting away with a whole lot of stuff, and it just recently you got where they being penalized for the stuff that they're been doing for years. There's a lot of cases we haven't heard of where police don't shot this young brother, this young sister, or did this or did that. And it's been going on for years up there in Minnesota, bro. So it's gonna be hard to try to change the culture that they have up there because it's really bad up there, man. And when it come down to the relationships, and then you gotta look at the percentage of black folks up in Minnesota, man. It's probably like 12% or less. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was I was looking at I was trying to see how much money that Miss Potter has actually raised. And the reason why is because the attorney said that she has a bill rate right now of $130,000. Now, if you think about that, she has $130,000 already, set aside for bail, and they was requesting that her bail be set at $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
April, June, July, August, September, October, November. Might as well say the 8 months. She got $130,000 sitting there waiting. Cash.
Well, her to-go fund must be doing hellified numbers because police officers don't make that much, even with overtime. So that means the people that's backing her, either her family has some old money or her GoFund. They already started a GoFundMe page, so the community is sticking with her. So she's looking to be comfortable no matter how it turns out for her. Mm-hmm. But yeah, for her to have that much type of money coming in right now, dealing with this high-profile case, if you was to look back with anybody else that's in media of going to a high-profile case, it starts at $1 million down there, and this is a real high-profile case. So for her to have that type of money accumulated just right off, hey, that's pretty big.
But it also shows, like I said, the mindset of the people to support her. You giving $100 and something thousand to a murderer. You know what I'm saying? You don't have cases where brothers accidentally shot somebody or accidentally shot themselves, and the media and everybody demonized this brother. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
See, that's the culture, that's the mindset, of society of America. This shows you what America really is, man. It's a racist country. It's a racist state. You know what I'm saying? And in every state, this is what we're up against.
It's weird. I'm trying to find her GoFundMe page and I can't find it. Of course, they put up Dante Wright's GoFundMe, but I can't find her GoFundMe page.
Let me check something else. But I understand I'm checking as well. But her GoFundMe page could be more on the silence hush. It wouldn't be really access to the public. So it'll be up on, like I said, you got to look at what type of old. If that's old race, that's old money. If she's dealing with somebody with old money, that's old racial, old clan money, man. That's a lot of old money up in certain places that she could be dealing with. That's funding her. It could be. So you got to look in the town, the place she's at, and her ties in the community. So that stands a lot. I don't know if you remember. I forgot. It was a case I was about to bring up where they had the same thing. You couldn't understand it was a GoFundMe. But that Klan case, it was called the Ku Klux Klan down here in Georgia. They rallied around an 8-year-old doing her birthday party. Actually, they got 20 years for it, but the Klan backed them the whole way. The Klan paid all the legal fees, took care of them personally, and they about to get out. You know how I know that? Because I know one of the Klan members personally. So when I say when I know him personally, I work for the guy. That's how I ran into a Klan member, and me and him end up becoming good friends. It's kind of funny, but the way they handle their business or certain organizations is not going to be tracked. They'd rather not have nothing tied to him because she's just not going to come up. And don't she have children? She's a mother. How many children does she have? People know. I know she's a wife, a family, a mother. So you got to look at her pay grade. It's not that high, and her savings being 40 now would not be of that high. No matter if she was to put her house up right now. So whoever's funding her is how would they call it? Basically, it's somebody in the background. It's under wraps. It's not going to be exposed to the
Somebody
media.
in the shadows. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody in the shadows of that money that's playing ball for. Like I say, she'll be right back on the appeal. And I'm sorry to jump tracks real quick, but you remember when you were speaking on she haven't been sentenced yet? She can get 10 years for everything. She can get 5 years. Why you think she didn't frown? She a guilty verdict. She might got a guilty verdict. But see, the outcome of her sentencing is what matters. That woman you gotta look at. She don't care if she get 10 years behind that. 10 years better than life.
Yeah, man, she ain't gonna be nothing but 59 when she get out.
Come on.
And then you talking about the GoFundMe. Hell, she ain't gonna use all that damn money. All they gotta do is put that money up, invest it, and guess what? When she get out, she gonna have a bunch of money sitting waiting on her ass. You know what I'm saying? Like she ain't really missed nothing. Her family gonna be taken care of. She gonna step right into it and like just live the rest of her days under the sun, chilling. Like nothing really happened. She just went on a vacation for a long fucking time.
She has,
you know what I'm saying?
She has 2 adult sons. So I guess her sons are probably around the age Dante Wright was.
18, 19, 20.
I wonder how do they feel about this case? Even though their mother's leaving, how do they feel? And I always look at this dealing with situations like this. I want to see later on, will it be something in the media about it, about the remorse of her family speaks up. Y'all know how to do 60 seconds. What is 60 minutes? I wonder will it be a case speaking on this topic of just looking at, your children are around the same age. That could have been one of her children. There was a black officer that done it. When will people have some type of remorse and stop trying to cover up when somebody does something wrong of a different color?
Right.
I hate to say the cliche thing that the apple falls not too far from the tree, but I was told this tale. If you think one way and you think clear-minded, you don't present color, you try to treat everybody fair, but your mother and father does treat people biasly, and you send your children every summer to grandma and grandpa's house who don't like black people. And you know that your mother and father don't like black people. But you don't tell Joey and little Sarah, you know how your grandma and grandpa is. We don't act that way. Love your grandma and grandpa, but don't do and say the things grandma and grandpa does. Most white families, not all, because I can't say it. I can only go by what I see in reference to how white people treat me and treat my other brothers and sisters. Most white people do not tell their children that. And most white people, if they are racist, biased, and teach their children the same thing. I'm going to do a podcast on this one thing where I seen a brother had stole something out of a judge's yard. The judge was calling him in. As they were sitting back watching the video, laughing on the aftermath of everything. Her sons were saying, I should have took his phone. I should have did this. I should have did this. And the judge, their mother was saying, yeah, that in. So that right there tells you she's a judge now. And she's calling the guy who tried to rob her, who was a brother, the in.
Come on, man. Well, I got to say what this world's coming to. She's a judge now. She used the N-word.
I'm gonna do a podcast on that and show you why.
Oh, I almost definitely like to touch. You're gonna have to give me the information. I would love to touch bases on that, man. It just shows you different standards, man. It's different standards, man. It works. You know, it's different standards. That's all it is, man. They try to give us enough to hush us up. The cycle continues. The same thing keeps happening. Sometimes people gonna have to get the ground beneath their feet and the wind against their back and really go for it if they got to. And what I want to speak on, you remember when you was like, when we was talking about what will it make a change up there? What is it, Minneapolis? I think nothing. Y'all remember that incident when they killed that kid and it was a sniper, a black guy who was in the military. He sniped 2 police officers. He killed them in cold blood. They had an event. I think it was down in Alabama. Was it New Orleans? Was the one down there in I can't remember the case. It was the Ferguson. But I remember it was a black guy from the military, and after they killed all them black kids was dying back in 2019. He ended up coming from the military and he killed like 3-4 cops. I haven't looked back into his case. If you was to look back, you could probably still Google it and find it. But he killed like 3-4 police officers. He sniped them from the top of a 20-story building from the roof. And it still hasn't made a change. It still hasn't made a dent in nobody's minds that we're fighting every day for change. You got some people that will go overboard, that will put their life on the line for these lives that do matter. Black lives matter, you know. And you have one individual that really took it there, and it still doesn't make sense. They're still not hearing us. We can go burn the White House down. They still ain't gonna fucking hear us. You know, one thing I can say when I looked at it was funny. You remember Trump supporters not trying to get off topic? You remember how they ran into that motherfucker building and died for that shit? They ran and I can salute to that. They ran in there and I was like, whoa, this shit ain't happened in history unless not that I know of since I've been here. Sometimes you really gotta stand on it. And I will hope further in my future of me being on the screen, podcast and everything else, I would like to be a great leader. Well, I'm going to be a great leader, great activist one day, because sometimes you can't give a fuck. You got to take your heart out of it and go for what's right. Because the same way they get funded, somebody's gonna fund the next person that just don't give a fuck. That's ready to clean up.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that, you know, a lot of these people, they all think the same at the same dinner table. A lot of these people, when they say black people are the most heartfelt people on the planet, they're not going to say it. But when we say it, let me rephrase that. When we say that, we're the most heartfelt people. And the reason why I say heartfelt people, because we're the first to forgive. We're the first to have remorse for what we've done wrong. And you said earlier, what would happen if they interview her sons? How would they feel? They're going to feel just like mom. She wasn't upset that she's gone. What I mean, she's probably, internally, who ain't upset that they got to go to jail? But yet and still, she was not shaking, twicking, you know, all in convulsions, upset, express on the outside that, hey, I'm getting ready to go to prison for a while. This hurts.
Yeah, she wasn't. It hurt. She was like, well, I'm about to get ready to go. I guess she about to go pull a Martha Stewart. Or knit some blankets or something, sit back, you know, being protected custody. You know, she won't be eating ramen noodles. She'll be real comfortable. To her, the way her facial expression looked, it was like, okay, I'm gonna have to go sit down for a little minute. There's nothing I can't deal with. It's not gonna be a life sentence. See, if you look at, you know, just I don't see where's the tears. Where's
he at now?
Where's the emotion? You like, okay, we'll have you back out. We're gonna just appeal it. You're fine. You know, fuck that. You should be crying now if you care so much. Look at this. Just look.
But she ain't saying nothing about the family. I apologize. I'm sorry. Where's the overwhelming remorse? I don't see it.
She ain't shaking. She ain't crying. She's solid.
You would think she might have even fainted. You know, all that drama she did in the trial last week and everything. You'd have thought that she'd have fainted. And like you said, facial rate, because you know what? I'm getting ready to touch on something. They're quick to call us colored people of color. But when you can see their emotions on their face by the way their body skin color changes.
Yes. I most definitely can see it.
When they
I can see
upset,
it.
when they messed up in the face, everything changes. The bloodshot red. The eyes are, I mean, everything is red. Nothing else. She was lily white.
Man, she looking like, hey, okay, it's over with. I'll see you tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You don't see no emotion. Look, if you can get a close up in there, just there you go. Come on. But on the stage, you was so shaken up on the stand. You like, bye. You know, like, okay, that shit didn't work for me. Let me go back up here and see what I can do next time. Look, nothing. To her, it's like she was still doing her job. She didn't make no mistake at all. That's what she's like. I didn't fuck up. It wasn't my fault.
Well, not only her, but as I look at the attorneys as well, they patting her on the back like, all right, we'll see you in a little bit. Going back in the back, the show is over with. Instead of hugging her and saying, I'm sorry, we're still here for you. None of that. Just pat her. It's okay. Go back to the back. We'll be in the back with you in a minute.
You remember what I explained earlier about the DAs and people in certain areas that know one another? Sometimes things got to seem a certain way. They pat them like it's all right. He's telling her now, we're going to come see you tomorrow. We're gonna get in there. She's like, okay, see you tomorrow. This has already been worked out. Once they go back, talk back to the DA, see what else they can come up with getting ready for sentencing. She's more confident. And right now, this case is so high profile due to all these black kids that already been dying. So they got to make it seem like they're being a hard owner. But actuality, they're too comfortable, too relaxed. And the statement that the DA made, not saying because he's a white guy too, but he can't be blackballed, so we got to act like he really cares. At the end of the day, they already know behind closed doors. We're going to figure out, we'll get them on sentencing. She's not emotional. They're not emotional. And it's a difference. I know they have a job to do, but where's the compassion? No compassion.
It's a system, man.
Now, guys, the Twitter just changed. And 56% agrees Kim goes to prison. 44% disagrees Kim should not go to prison. So it's changing. Earlier when I showed that, it's still 56, 44 there. It's been going back and forth. So it's right back at where it was when I put that up on the screen. People, I go back and I say this right here. What has blacks, people of color, have you African Americans, Africans, what have they done to Caucasians to where Caucasians have to hate on us the way they do? What have blacks done? That blacks should be in reversed. Not saying that I want black people to go out and kill white folks, but I'm just thinking all the history that we know of what whites have done to blacks, their forefathers have done to blacks. And when I say have done and still doing, so we can't say, well, I didn't do it, my forefathers did it. Well, your daddy doing it now, your uncles are doing it, and your sons and your brothers are doing it.
And you're supporting the system.
Mm-hmm. But what have blacks done to whites to where they need to feel they have to do that continuously?
I don't know. It must be. I still don't get it myself. I don't know. It's something in their DNA, man. They just got to do it. I know we're a natural born threat regardless, but I guess just them they have to continue to show that they have masculinity, that they have some type of this. No.
And actually, think about what you said, MG. You said that to them, we are a naturally born threat. In actuality, they're showing they're the threat to us because they're the ones who's killing us off. They're the ones who's planting and doing things to incarcerate us, to beat us with batons and shock us with their tasers and stuff, a real taser instead of a taser gun. Come on, man.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Well, the thing is, LB, man, you got to look at it from their perspective. They have a recessive gene. Whenever they mate with us, they don't reproduce themselves in the sense of the kids come out pale. they come out brown. So, and then on another hand is they're not reproducing as fast as we are. Uh, a lot of them wait until they're in their 40s to have kids and resort their population is going down. Um, then you got to look at they depend on us as a people um, to keep their community going. You look at jail. You look at us as consumer based nation or people. We spend trillions of dollars in consuming various stuff. If it wasn't for that, if it wasn't for us being incarcerated, they make money off us being incarcerated. They make money off us being uneducated. They make money in every aspect, whether it is pharmaceutical, whatever. They make money off of us being below them. So in that regard, they're looking at it as why shouldn't you want to stay in this position? You feel what I'm saying? When we bucking, when we are trying to come up as a nation, that's a threat for them. That's a big threat. You feel me? So you look at the school system, man, everything, man, is because you look at us as a people. Everything we do, we excel at it. You give us a little crumb, we make it work. Look at look at the sports. We are majority of the ball players, man. We, you know, just everything. We influence everything. Even if you look at the kids that come in, that's in the hood, when they go through the school system, we still have high educate. The kids are still excelling in education, even though they putting us in these poverty areas. So we're a natural threat to them. Period.
Absolutely. Our DNA speaks for ourselves. We always been we most been the most muscular, most outgoing. It's just it's something that they can't. That it's something that I feel like they want to still feel like they have a control issue. Like he said, if the nation wants to come together of us, we are the most powerful. But mentally, to break people mentally, is mental change. If they can keep you in that same mental thought process, they still have the control. And no matter about this case or the next case, they still have the control. And that's one thing we must have to break.
One thing I can say in reference to some of the cases that's been going on, especially with the Ahmaud Arbery and then this case here, not so much with the Kyle Rittenhouse, but with those two cases here, and also with George Floyd, times are changing, and I have to take my hat off to the white people who do show that they have a heart for the righteous and stating what we see and not lying about what they actually see. And those three cases, they're alone. But we need more. It can't just be those three and then let the next 20 or 30 go back to the way it was. We got to keep progressing, white people. White brothers, white sisters, you got to keep progressing and telling the truth. The hell with your grandpa, your grandma, your mother, and your father taught you and what they want to do. I think the millennials, the new people, the new generation is the generation that's going to. I can't say because racism has been here since the beginning of time, and all you do is go and look at history of how things have transcended through time. But I do feel here in America, the millennials are those who will and have so far shown when you see the protests to their mothers, their fathers, and their grandfathers, we're not like you. And it may have something to do with the fact of, one thing I can credit it to, hip hop. Hip hop has changed so many mental states of white people. It's pathetically enjoying. It really, really has.
I truly agree on that. You're absolutely right. It's been very influential for a lot of white people. It has made a very, very big change in standpoint in the communities, in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
I can take my hat off to that. It's very it's making a bigger change, a bigger impact nowadays.
Mm-hmm. But we need more. We need more white people to stand up and stand against the racism that these old people here continuously want to keep pushing. And I stand firmly, guys, on something that I spoke about earlier. We have too many old white men still in control, teaching the younger white men how to be like them.
It's time for us to start. It's time for us to start breaking their race. You know, when I speak on building a nation, like a nation of people means it's white, blue, purple, green, or brown. Once you start getting in their children in their children's heads, because there's a lot of broken white people out here too. Trust me, I know a lot of them. Once you start spreading that gospel, spreading that ghetto gospel, you start to. It's like how they say, for you to make a change, sometimes you gotta start from the inside out. So as we slowly grabbing their children, putting them in our mind states, slowly but surely, we're gaining their attention and we're getting more white followers every day. We're getting more white people that's understanding where we're coming from, even from the 1960s and 70s. But like you're saying, we're getting a broader fan base, and we just got to keep stepping. Eventually, we should be heard. But with the older founding fathers that's still sitting there and they want to keep them old traditions going, it's time to erase them. That time is about to expire.
And CG, we need more music like what Flo did on this song right here. Let me get the Only New. We need more music like that where they're speaking in reference to substance, something that can make the kid's mind think and think about something that really, really matters versus some of the stuff that they do think about. We need that right there because BDP, Heavy D, all those guys back there that was speaking of conscience stuff. We don't have no conscious rap no more. We don't have conscious R&B music no more. It's either about sex, money, drugs, or some type of beef. But if we can get our people to go back to conscience, because that conscious thing is what, in my opinion, gravitated white people to us closer to see really black people are cool. I like black people. You know what I'm saying?
You're absolutely right. And that's the type of music we need. We need that for the culture. We still need people that's telling the truth out here and not telling lies that glamorize the things that doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. So you're right. That did make a lot of them gravitate towards us back in the day. You talking about KRS-One, Heavy D, even could throw the Beastie Boys in there. They made a hell of a change, even though they was, Run DMC, and a couple of the cats that came after them made a standpoint. And right now with them music, we need a lot of that. Mm-hmm. A lot that comes with good pointers that has a meaning to it. Mm-hmm. Instead of telling these kids to go out here and corrupt their minds, we must save the children. But we did get a lot of, like I said, a lot of white people jumped on board due to our music. Mm-hmm. And even not right now with the artists and a lot of other artists they have pulled a lot of white people in the community. You just look at the president. I'm just messing with you. Mm-hmm. Even Biden got to listen to a little rap every now and then.
Mm-hmm. Well, you think about it. Back in the 70s, 60s, you didn't have as many interracial relationships as you have today, and a lot of it got to do with the music. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. You're absolutely right on that. Cause man, back in the day, you would not see no white and black couple walking around too tough. Not even in the fucking 90s that I can remember as a kid, in the late 80s. Even nowadays, it's like, hey, I'm going black. It's fine, it's cool. It's not that big of a deal now. You're absolutely right. And that's something that's overtaken a lot. So we're already gaining on that end. You know what I'm saying? We're winning on that side. Mm-hmm. So I must take my hat out to my brothers and sisters on that. Hey, we winning, but yeah, it has changed a lot for the culture.
But another thing that needs to really change is educating the whites and the blacks on our proper history, instead of lying to the whites and lying to the blacks. Because if you want, going through the school system, you think that everybody that did something or anybody that was of importance was white. You never knew that, you had inventors that made the electric car back in the 1880s and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You never knew about um, us before slavery. You never knew about the black cultures of Africa or the North Americans, South Americas, or Australia, Malaysia, Japan, Asia. We never knew about any of those civilizations that was black and had inventions and writings and all that stuff before the Europeans even thought about being a civilization. So educating them properly on our achievements and us as a black folks instead of just, oh, y'all just came from West Africa, y'all was slaves, y'all was in the bushes, and you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. It does help because it makes the kids of European descent really respect um, black folks more than what they have been taught. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, you hit it on the head there. You're absolutely right. We need more of understanding our culture. One thing about it, I ain't got no response. You said a mouthful. You just said it all. And that's one thing about moving the nation. The knowledge is within knowing and education, educating the youth. Even the adults right now, the education is the key. And that's one main thing that plays a big factor in life right now. Of understanding exactly what we created, where we come from, and how we made the evolution that made the world evolve. How we started a lot of things that we don't get credit for. But it shows something about our character and our heritage. So yeah. Brother LB, what you think?
that list right there. I found out about that list in the mid 2000s, and it blew my mind. I have a book called Before the Mayflower by Lerone Bennett, and he had discussed about a lot of those inventions in that list right there. But I actually obtained that list in the early 2000s, and I try to share that with everyone I come across with to let them know you washing your clothes at a laundromat and in the comfort of your home because of one of the inventors here.
Mm-hmm.
Stop lights you stop at to make sure you don't bust somebody in the back or in the front just at an intersection is because of one of those inventors right there. If your house ever catch a fire and you got a fire extinguisher in your house, it's because of one of those black inventors right there.
Right. Mm.
The ice box, the refrigerator you have, if you have one, and if you're an American, you don't have one, shame on you. If you got a home, it's because of one of those black inventors right there. So I say that to say, touching on what Flo Nice has stated, there's so many more inventions that we've done in reference to pharmaceuticals, in reference to cultivate, like the almanac was created by the brother. Just sorry. Hey guys, brother made it.
Okay then.
Harley Davidson.
Benjamin Banneker.
Yes.
Yeah,
Hey,
the Harley Davidson was created by a black man. And we thinking it was all Harley. Nah, the black man designed that whole frame. You see what I mean? The Ford just took the patent from a black man. We thinking that as kids, you thinking that we're nothing but drug dealers and just hood rats and this and that. Nah, man, we come from intelligent people. You know what I'm saying? And that makes a difference when you understand where you come from and the achievements of your people.
When
It
my
makes a difference.
when my daughters was in elementary, I would go to the schools, beginning of school, and learn a little bit about the teacher. And I would tell the teacher that there's more to Black history than Martin Luther King, Michael Jordan, and so on. And my girls would, because their mother was a beautician, they would always uh, do research on Madam C.J. Walker and highlight her in whatever presentation they would display. But I would tell the teachers, look, quit teaching our children that all you can be is either a person to stand up in front of a crowd and demand for what's right and get killed, or teach our children you can only be that person if you want to be well known, or you can be a Michael Jordan or Serena Williams to be well known. Quit teaching our children that. Teach our children that they can be one of these people right here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that goes in. It goes in one ear and out another ear because they don't know.
Nah, they're not properly educated themselves. See, that's what I'm saying with the a lot of your and I call them Europeans. I don't call them white because I understand that term where it comes from. They use white to signify that they're pure. They use black to signify that we was wicked. So I don't like to use the term black or white. So I call them Europeans. A lot of the Europeans is improperly educated. Their system of education is white supremacy. They taught white supremacy. Even when you look at the Egyptian civilization, what they teach you that the white folks were Egyptians. You know what I'm saying? The Babylonians were white. The Sumerians were white. The Assyrians were white. Everybody was white. You know what I'm saying?
I watched a brother by the name of man, why would I lose his name? Well, it'll come to me in a little bit. But I watched this one brother and he showed me something. Stepping on what you had just stated, as far as white superior and black in the darkness. Imagine this right here being the sun. Imagine this being earth. Now, we've all been told that Africa is down here.
Mm-hmm.
In America, so to speak, is about right up there
Mm-hmm.
on the globe. And that's the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's closest? Let me do it this way. What's closest to the sun?
America.
America. So America should be hotter. Am I right or wrong?
Right.
All right. Remember I said this down here was Africa. What's hotter? Closest to the sun.
Right.
24, 365 days of the year. Africa is closest to the sun.
Right.
Where's America? We're
At
cold
the
right now.
bottom. Yeah. Yeah.
We're farther away from the sun. If I ain't mistaken, if you put your hand close to fire, it's going to get hot. But the further you
Mm-hmm.
take it away from fire, it's going to be cool.
It's going cold. Yeah.
So how in the hell is it America's up top and darkness is down low? But
Right.
the darkness is hotter to the sun than America is. How is that? Y'all play too much.
You want me to tell you what that's called? That's the Peter projectile map, where they project all of the European cultures to be bigger than the melanated countries when it's opposite. Africa is down there the biggest continent well, it is the biggest continent on the planet. It is the biggest continent. It can fit all the rest of the continents in Africa and still have plenty more room.
Now,
But they don't teach us that.
I said that to make people think. Africa, as you see, is way much larger than America. And it's way hotter than America. Even right now. But it's shown on the globe is so low. And if it's so low, it's farther away from the sun. And America is so high, along with Europe and everybody else, so high.
Right.
But right now,
Right.
a lot of parts of America and Europe is getting snow and cold. How is that if you're closer to the sun?
Right. Somebody been lied to. Somebody lying.
I'm just here to make you think.
And I'm just gonna leave it like that,
Dane Calloway.
Huh?
Dane Calloway, he showed me
Yeah,
that.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Just here
Yeah.
to make you think, man. Come on, people. Wake up. Come on. Back at the subject at hand, guys. This lady right here. We tilt our hat off to the jurors for doing their job correctly and making sure that this brother right here gets justification, him and his family. And not just him, the little one. I like to black her picture out on this, but the little one as well. Their dad is no longer with us, no longer with them, and I hope that the judgment that the jurors handed out brings a little bit of peace to the family, because this should not have been, man. It should not have been.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely right, man. It's another sad day for America, man. Another child will grow up fatherless now, you know. And that's sad. That's sad, man. It's really sad that every day that's something that we have to go to. That's something that we fear, actually. With us being black right now, we fear every day when our children leave this house. You know, everybody is on alert. Yes.
It's something you just said, man. It takes me back to this right here. Only knew. There's a message in there in what you just said. You know, another sad day, and another child will grow up without his biological father. I mean, and it did not have to be. And no remorse whatsoever. None. Not then, not now.
Not ever, I don't think.
No remorse will ever come out of it, because they feel like they done nothing wrong. And when I was looking at the video, when you was really showing the video, how many officers were there? What is it, 3 officers? 3 or 4 officers?
It's something like that. Mm-hmm.
Okay, but when they was in the vehicle, it seemed like it was no weapon in sight. The other officers had it semi under control. Why did she even come up and just assume to pull a weapon anyway? You know, and that's kind of sad. It seemed like her intentions, really, you was in the way, because it seemed like they had the situation handled until she came up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The kicker to it, they said she was a seasoned veteran, so she should have known not to pull no taser. No one stated, pull your taser out or we're going to tase you. There wasn't even a warning. She said taser, 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 but you got your gun on them. You didn't. And most times, guys, when you're hearing these guys saying, hey, taser, they say, I'm going to tase you if you don't stop. I'm going to tase you if you don't stop. They don't say taser, 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 and shoot. Come on.
Right.
Man.
Right.
You know
Something
what?
was fishy with that from the jump. But now I was just saying, something was fishy with that from the jump. She knew what she was doing. Just like we were saying before, that the handle on a taser and the handle on a gun is way different. The weight of a taser and the weight of a gun is way different. And the taser does not have a safety on it. A gun has a safety on it, which you have to pop up or push over and then get on the trigger. You feel me? Like, it shouldn't be no mistake. And you don't have the gun out of the holster the whole time.
If I have more understanding, but if you look at the video, once she pull her weapon, she know what she's reaching and pulling. The taser is not right beside your gun.
Mm-hmm.
It's not right beside your gun. So the weight in the feel of it is two different things. She now have gloves on. You know when you grabbing a pistol or a taser. She had so many times. I know she looked at it once she pulled it out. Because she's hollering taser, taser, taser. You're looking at your weapon pointed at this young man.
My point exactly.
It's just like this. We can see it in the video. You had the piece of paper in her hand. She had a piece of paper. She had time to paper back in the pocket, pull the paper back out. Then you pull the weapon. And you held that weapon so long when we can see it in the video, that's a gun. That's not a taser.
Right.
You can see it right there close. You're looking at your weapon before you shoot.
Right. My point exactly. Like, man, you looking at it. You looking dead at it.
See, shit like this will make me really want to.
And go a little bit before then.
I think that's the clip. Let me see.
There we go. Here we go. Now look at this.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Look how she holding it.
Look how she grabbed that gun. Look, brother LB.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now check this out. Hold on, check this out. Check this out one second. LB, brother LB. Okay, if y'all noticed, before she came up, the officer was about to put him in handcuffs. What did she do to interfere with the other officers. She intervened. If she never would have came, the officer had the guy by his hands behind his back. He was about to put cuffs on, and she reached for something. If you notice, she reached in between the two. If you was to look back on the clip, you would see it. And that's when it seemed like things turned from there.
Watch this.
Now watch. Oh.
Yeah, she had that gun in her hand for a good minute, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She understood clearly what was going on. Her intentions. She changed that whole situation. You see, he had his cuffs out. The young dude was about to be cuffed. He was still been alive today. If you look at that little section, the cuffs was about to go on the guy.
Mm-hmm.
So regardless, once he did decide to resist, before she got there, the situation looked like it was kind of taken care of. And she knew that was a weapon.
And see, the kicker to it is that's all the footage they give us. And I'm sure the jury got the full length of the video footage. You know, they got the original cut of it and everything. So they saw a lot more of her holding that gun in her hand than what we've seen. And for what we've seen, that's still too long for you to have a gun in your hand and not realize, whoa, I got the wrong shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not understanding how did it go from that to him. If I'd have been in jail a lot of times, not trying to say it, but I done been in with a lot of law enforcement. I done had one in. With them being that comfortable and his hands is on them cuffs, that's what keeps killing me. He was damn near this close to getting until she intervened. Then once she grabbed her weapon, it was like she was already prepared to be on some bullshit that day.
Mm-hmm. But see, guys, I think, you know, I'm getting ready to be devil's advocate. Y'all say she ain't got no remorse. She got it. Look.
Play stopping at 2:01:54, please.
If that ain't remorse, what is?
She's about to use the insanity plea. She's about to try some new shit. She's paying herself for insanity plea. You know, she
looked like the damn exorcist was getting ready to come out her ass or some shit.
Could you play that one more time for me, man? Let me get it again.
Play stopping at 2:01:54, please.
Yeah, temporary insanity.
That's
what she was going for.
Something up there. There's something coming up next. But brother LB, man, hey man, it's just we got to make. Only we can make America great. It's gonna take for us founding brothers to make a change, to educate ourselves more, to continue to speak out hot topics, most definitely. And our brother, what's your name? I didn't catch his name. What's your name again? I know I caught it.
Flow Nice, man.
Say it again.
Flow Nice.
Flow Nice, man. Like I say, education, brother. I see you standing on your 10, and just off this topic, coming in with hot topics, man. Hey, this is the truth, man. This is what we need every day. And for the youth generation now, we need this. The people need it.
I think for those who view this session here, they're going to get something a little bit more than just the verdict, because we did go off into actually giving the community something to think about in reference to, as you was talking about, the truth of who we are as a people. And when you had stepped off into telling a little bit about some of the things that we invented and created, and that prompt to put the picture up in reference to the inventors. So this podcast really gives our people a little something for the holidays to think about and say, hey, you know what? Maybe it might teach them to teach some of their siblings something different from what they've ever had. Because, bros, I didn't get it in high school. I didn't get it in middle school. And most certainly in elementary, I didn't get none of it. I only got it when I went to college and took a Black Studies class, That's when I started learning in reference to who we are as a people. And it's a shame that I had to wait till I go to college to a black university to get black information, and I could not get it in just regular school.
Yeah, I understand that because the job they do in regular schools is teaching you more about your heritage, black history is pathetic. I learned majority of mine from my uncle. You know? They taught because they used to work in the cotton field. You know, he used to tell me he couldn't read and write, and I seen how the police brutality was so big in my community, in my neighborhood, that I seen the police beat people up on a regular, you know, assault people. And then as I got older, it started to happen to me. So the cycle continues. So I started educating myself more and more and more. It became more of a passion of mine to make this change, to stand to be the young man that I am today, because I just seen the police beat a person halfway to death. Mm-hmm. They tell you they're gonna beat you up, throw you out. You never make it to the police precinct. Mm-hmm. You know, so as a kid of me seeing that and listen to my founding fathers, it made me understand to go hard by seeing it firsthand. It made me want to not acknowledge, get education about my people, you know, and continue to learn every day to see what change we can make. Because as what they would say, we're not the problem. We're not the problem. You know, but like I say, educate myself is now as a grown man, things I still see. I still got to keep that hunger inside of me to keep educating myself. So when I stand up and speak, I can make sure my words move a multitude. That it sticks.
Exactly. And that's the key. You know, you may not say everything politically correct, but the key of it is that you're saying something that actually triggers the mental state of someone whose mind has been closed and dead for so long, as the term called woke. Now you may have said something that woke that person up, and hopefully through this episode tonight, it's caused or triggered some people, not someone, but some people, to wake up and realize that we do have to make a change. And as I said earlier, I've had a lot of doubt in the white juries for white people who's on the who's being convicted, or not convicted, but actually being charged. I'm kind of leery because we've seen so many cases to where they've gotten off when they know blatantly that shouldn't happen, especially when it comes to police officers. So there is a change in the community of America to where people are standing up against the police and saying, hey, you're just like us.
You're absolutely right.
And at one point in time, I've had to stand firmly and say, until it happened to you, how dare you sit there and say, you know, policeman's right, the black man and the black woman is wrong. Far too many. And I've always stated, until it happens to you, then maybe you'll have a change of heart. But hopefully for those jurors that's on the jury stand, it hasn't happened to them. And they have had a change of heart before it does happen to them.
Yes. You're absolutely right. I totally agree with you on this statement.
Well, guys, we're going to wrap this up. For some odd reason, it's looking weird in the chat thing. It seems like it's a whole bunch of people from across seas typing in all kind of crazy stuff. I don't get what that's about. I mean, the names look like from what would you call it? Arabic. The word looks Arabic for some reason in the chat field, and that's weird looking. None of the chat information that came through was American. It's all Arabic, and my settings is not set up for Arabic. It's in English as I'm looking at it. But guys, I enjoyed it. We're gonna follow through with the verdict. Hopefully in January, February, whenever they do have the verdict, we'll come back and hopefully they do give them, as the mandate is 20 to 40 years she's facing. Hopefully she'll get, she'll get the 40, if not 40, at least 35 or 38.
I ain't gonna hold my breath.
Hey, only time will tell. Only time will tell.
Exactly.
I ain't gonna hold my breath.
And Flo, I'm like you. I'm still leery of the system because we just have not had a consistency of the system doing right by us. And until that happens, I'm with you 100. Yes, I'm doubting the system's going to act right. I just am.
Yeah, the system lost my trust a long time ago. It can be one thing today and something else tomorrow. You know, like I say, it's an even swap or even swindle. Even judges get talked to and get touched. So I never know. Right now, I just put it in God's hand. I don't know what the outcome is going to be, but I hopefully she get the max.
Me too. Me too. All right, brothers. Until next time, I appreciate you guys coming on. People, let's uplift the Wright family, and just hope that they make it through the holiday seasons a little bit more happier than what they've been over the past 8 to 9 months, and just hope that the little one that Dante left here along with his mother and his siblings, that he finds peace as well, because we don't know what this travesty has done to this child. Quite naturally, they miss their father at the early age that they're in. So let's just hope that peace come for the family and they make their way through it. It's losing a loved one without violence is hard enough, but to lose a loved one through violence and then have to continue to keep seeing the type of people who took your loved one from you on a day-to-day basis, imagine how that might make you feel. Until next time, guys, y'all stay up. And if anything, be good, man. Be good. And educate yourself, as we said earlier. Learn about some of this right here. We out.
We gon' hit them hot topics. We talking about them hot topics. We gon' hit them hot topics. We talking about them hot topics. We gon' hit them hot topics. We talking about them hot topics. We gon' hit them hot topics. So put it on the, put it on the, put it on the, put it on the floor. Got a few situations that we wanna talk about. Got a few disagreements, we gon' need to talk it out. Right here in the hot seat, no need for another route. We gon' keep it 100 without the bottle count. LB gon' pull it out you, a dentist with a drill. Don't be all up in your feelings, auntie gon' keep it real. Uncut with no chasing, no guard and no shield. Conversation productive, ain't worried about how you feel. Discussions keep on rising, shooting just like a rocket. They gon' need some addressing. Climaxing, can I stop it? Old news telling lies and getting out the pocket. This is Urban Bros Media, giving you hot topics. We gon' hit them hot topics. We talking about them hot topics. We gon' hit them hot topics. So put it on the, put it on the, put it on the, put it on the floor. We gon' hit them hot topics. We talking about them hot topics. We gon' hit them hot topics. So put it on the, put it on the, put it on the, put it on the floor. We gon' hit them hot topics. We talking about them hot topics. We gon' hit them hot topics. Just put it on the, put it on